everyone. Hi, nieces and nephews. This is your Uncle Bill, and this week we're doing DIY tent hacks. We're camping out in the backyard with my 2-man pole tent. I'm going to show you how to set it up. We're going to go over all sorts of little camping tricks and tips and ways to avoid troubles out on the road. So stay tuned. Not only that, right now I'm going to set up the tent another time because one of the tent hacks is to make sure that you get it all on camera. And I didn't do it last time. Welcome to Uncle Bill's crazy adventure in the backyard. We're going to see about getting everything on camera this time so that you can see me set up the tent, sleep in the tent, then we'll talk about it after we're done. It's a hiking pole tent. Did I tell you that? We're camping in the backyard. That is DIY hack number 1. Why in the backyard? So that you don't have to spend all that extra expense, and if you need to fix something, you can do it right away. We're using the barbecue skewers so that we don't have to worry about metal later on. Say if we were camping at a campground and we were in a rush, if you leave these behind, you don't have to worry too much. Nice to have a little tent pusher that's for your stakes. This is a Bluefield ground cloth. Notice how nice and easy these things go right into the dirt. Won't harm anything. After we get this all set up, we're going to make sure that we're in frame, because the last time I did this, I was not. We might even back up a little bit. All right, one barb. All right, here we go. That's that. Let's check our framing, make sure that that whole thing is in frame for us. And not. Okay. Back up a little bit. That's a much better presentation. Yay, I give that a thumbs up. This is the foot over here. And here are all my stakes underneath, because I rolled it out really fast. Didn't pay much attention. The red ones came with the tent, and the gold ones are the ones I bought extra on eBay. I have 19 stakes total. Don't you love just having all these barking dogs? Don't you wish you had them too? Stake number 1 down. And this should go a lot faster, seeing as this is the second time I've done it in 2 days. And it is going a lot faster. This tent actually doesn't require a ground cloth. As a matter of fact, most of my tents don't require one. It's just nice to have a ground cloth when you're tenting. Just a little extra added security. One thing you don't want to do, however, is have the ground cloth extend past the tent, because what it does is it actually makes it, if it does that, it'll wick water underneath and into where your tent is. All right, we've got it staked out. We're using hiking poles this time. You didn't see the other one. I actually also have regular poles that are 40 inches, and this is said to go to 38 inches is what the tent actually calls for. However, I did contact the manufacturer and they said, oh, it's fine, you can use 40-inch poles if you want. It did not pitch as well with 40-inch poles. This time we're using hiking poles. Fully adjustable, easily moved. This tent goes up very fast. I like this tent myself. Otherwise I wouldn't have bought it, but I bought a 2-man instead of a 1-man because This way I have access to zippers on both sides. I'm just eyeballing it. Next time I'll have it perfect. Third time is the charm, right? There we go, here's the top. Another reason for doing this, and another reason why it's a tent hack, is I found out the vents on the top needed an extra piece that this tent does not have, and I made it. As a matter of fact, I'll go in and get it and show it to you in a bit. We are almost pitched here. Look at this, doesn't that look beautiful? This has already been camped in once. Might be camped in again tonight. I don't know, I'm gonna leave it up for a while and then decide later whether to take it down or leave it up. Oh, yeah. This needs to be staked out too. I have 19 stakes in total. This tent came with 10. How they expected you to get it done with 10, I don't know. But 19 is more about what you need if you stake everything out, which is what I do. Uncle Bill does like to have triple protection. 6 on each end, so that's 6 right there. And then 4 more for these two. Now I can see how they can go with just 10, but I like the extra added security. And we're getting down to the last couple of tent stakes here. This is the second time. Here's the piece of tent that I have designed myself. And what that's for is, if you take a look at these vents here, they don't have a standoff to them, which they need. And so this does the standoff. And I have to move this around a little bit to get the standoff to work better. But on the other side, it'll work perfectly because I have that set up right. All right, so this holds this piece of material off of the tent so that the upper mesh area is exposed. The tent is pitched. This is our pillow for tonight. This is our air mattress. I like them both. This is a Wellax pillow. It takes about 3 breaths to inflate it. I'll also be using my CPAP tonight. That's another reason why I'm here. That's 1. Okay, I lied. Two good breaths in my, and then I just put this in here. I love this pillow because it's shaped like my chiropractic pillow. Believe it or not, you don't roll off of this thing. You learn to sleep right on it. There we go, we're all set. We'll put that in the tent. I think we're gonna be using this side. Roll it all the way back. The Wellax. This thing has an interesting inflator. What we do is we get a whole bunch of air in there, then we roll it down just like that. See how that gets into a nice little pillow? And then we do the same thing that we did here. Let me push you down this time so you can see. Then we just put it right up against the, we clamped this together to hold this thing shut while we're putting it on there. Pillow, this takes about 15, I think, if I remember correctly. And lately my memory hasn't been so correct, so we'll see. Okay. Give it one more clamping down. And then we clamp her up. Then we get her down in there. Okay, and we do this fast. faster than I did with the other thing. And then we push all that good air in there. There's one. The whole thing came off. Not as easy as it looks. The first time it was so much easier because I did it inside, carpeting. So we come up, get lots of air, push her down, put it together. Get that ready, and then push it in. Well, our second go with this is a lot better. I'm out of practice. You don't need to see all of it. I'll tell you how many it was at the end. This should be on now. And we're back. All right, it took 7 bags full. And it got a lot easier as I went along because Uncle Bill finally remembered how this thing works better. And what you do is you just go and you swish it around. You curl it away from the power lux, come down a little bit, whoops, and make sure that I did this on purpose. You make sure that you put the cap on because otherwise when you're doing that, it won't work. And if you believe I did it on purpose, I got some candy for you. All right, there we go. But it took 7 bags full, just like this. And seeing as this has no valve on it, what you can actually do is kind of hold your finger over it while you're opening it, like this from the other side, and that will keep the air from flowing out. And then you push it onto that's the Powerlix air mattress and the Wellax pillow. After we do this, we're going to get out we'll just put it over there. That way we'll have it. And there's a pillow and our nice comfy air mattress. Now time to go grab our sleeping bag. I thought this one was actually rated down lower than it is. It's only rated to 30 degrees. Whereas this one here is only rated about 50 or maybe 45 degrees. It's not very, this is pretty much a summer waiter. This is my Golden Bear Ridgeline. I've actually been down to about 27 and it was pretty chilly with this thing. And let me unpack it. And now we're all set for camping tonight. I'm gonna zip up and come back after dinner. Advantage of doing your tenting in your backyard is your mess and your latrine is only a couple of steps away. Well, here we are cooking up our dinner for our wild camping adventure outside in the backyard. Macaroni with beef sausage. Yum! We're getting ready to turn in for the night. We're in the tent. We're having a great time. It's nice and cool. Actually moist too. The reason I might sound a little lispy is because I have a mouth guard in to keep me from grinding my teeth at night. Gonna be putting in my CPAP machine here shortly. Going to bed. Good night, nieces and nephews. All right.
Well, it's 4:30 a.m. Plenty cold. I could see my breath. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but everything's pretty well saturated with moisture. You can even see it on there's from where my head was, and rolling down from the inside. Would I do this again? Probably. But I'd have many more layers than I did, because you need something to absorb the moisture. It's a little uncomfortable, and I'm gonna wake up for the morning because it's time.
Here we are, we survived the wild outdoors in the backyard. Morning, it is cold as can be. It's about 42 degrees out. There was a big dew last night, so that was fun. Had to deal with that. It wet everything. Show you the tent. It's just starting to dry off. I don't know how well these will show. It is just totally drenched, as was the inside. This is starting to dry off a little bit now. It's been light for about an hour now. It's covered with dew too. It's cold. Nice thing about camping outside in your backyard is you can test out your camp equipment. One thing I realized that, yes, my sleeping bag's rated to 20 degrees. It was comfortable in the dry Arizona camping. When I went and did it last night, after getting totally drenched, it started to lose its insulative qualities. Let's see if I can get this zipper one-handed so that I can show you the inside of the tent. I've already pulled some of my things out of there. Oh, look how wet this is. Isn't that ridiculous? That is all, it's not from coming through the tent, it's from inside. I mean, it's just, it was wet in here last night. So this is the sleeping bag. We're gonna wait for everything to dry out, which is another nice thing. There's no checkout at Uncle Bill's house. There we go. Normally I would just roll everything up from inside the tent. Today, seeing as you're here and you're my guests, all my nieces and nephews, here's the sleeping bag. It really performed well last night until it started to get cold around 4 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty well, and it's dry now. And here's my stuff sack for that, and all my other playthings that need to be put away. By the way, the Powerlex air mattress worked fabulous. I was amazed at how warm my underside was during the whole evening. Let's flop this thing in to the stuff sack and start stuffing. One thing, if you get a stuff sack, make sure that it goes all the way around with the tie downs before you go pulling on it. This stuff sack does not, therefore I don't really cinch it down super tight. It seems to be getting windier and windier. Pretty soon the house will be lifted up, and Dorothy will have to visit Oz. And sleeping bag is done. This did not lose any air last night. Not one bit of air. I love it. It has the kind of valve that I like, where it just opens up to a great big hole when you pull the valve out, because you actually pull the whole thing out. Makes it so much faster to get the air out of it. Another way to do this is to, if you have a double action pump and you have bigger air mattresses, you can just hook up in the reverse part and suck the air. This pillow is a champ too. Now that's a lot easier to get. You just push on this and smush it all up into a ball and then let go. Now it's all You can tell it's all, all the air is out of that. Now we're at the end of our journey here. All we have left to do is pack up the tent and be ready to go. First, we're gonna take out all the stakes. We're gonna put all the red ones in here and all the gold ones in my other bag and have all sorts of fun. Let's see how well we can get this all done. Here. It looks like the top lander goes into a 4 configuration. In other words, I fold it over 4 times. I've already folded the tent over 4 times. It's a lot easier to do it inside when you don't have any wind. Let's roll it up and fit it in. This is the last part of putting away our camp. I always roll from the foot to the head, to the head of the tent. Normally I would roll to where the door is, but the problem is the door, I would be rolling sideways if I did that. All right, let's see how this one rolls up. So we don't have that hanging out like that. We'll just fold it up a little bit. And where's that green string that I've been looking around all over for? It's been running and I've been chasing it. I had it earlier. Oh, there it is. If it was any closer, it would have bit me. Also, can you think of the one thing that Uncle Bill forgot to roll in there? Stakes. Not only did I forget to roll in the stakes, I forgot to tell you the secret. The other reason why you want to bring out your brush is so that you can brush the dirt off your stakes. Sounds kind of like a culinary thing, but no. For your tent, it's a lot easier. These are going to be my 2 standoffs for the vent. I made them in the interim while we were doing things. Here we go. Now we're cooking with gas. We have everything, and we've taken care of everything. The standoffs I'm going to put in separately because they are a bit bigger. Let's see if this thing works. Here's one. Here's the other tie. Round the other way. Bring it back. Just tie a little half knot here just to hold it. And we'll put it in our tent stuff sack. Looks a little bit bigger than the stuff sack. Might have to be doing a little bit of top lander manipulation to get that final little stuff, because this tent sack was designed for the tent alone. We've added on additional stakes, 9 of them to be exact. I have 19 aluminum stakes for this. Why 19? Because more stakes the better. I was in almost hurricane strength winds 2019, and you needed every single stake and then some. And in 2018, I was in gust strengths, gale strength winds, and I tied off to a hiking pole, not a hiking pole, a handrail at a campground, just so that my tent wouldn't fly away. That was a fun night camping. And last night was a fun night camping. There we are. Toplander is all packed up. I will put these in there with it. I'm Uncle Bill. Every day this side of the dirt is a great day. Go out there, have some fun, stay COVID safe. Have a great day. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Here's some more videos to watch.